My name is Davis, and I am a 32-year-old from a small town in rural Ohio. My story is about the day I discovered a devastating betrayal and how I found peace in walking away. I was washing the car when the hose swung and splashed. The porch, her phone was on the armrest of her wheelchair. I instinctively dried the screen. My thumb hit the side button, and the lock screen lit up. A soft chime played a voicemail automatically. "Hey baby, sorry I missed you last night. I couldn't get away. You know how he is. Text me when he's asleep." My heart stopped. Water dripped from my elbow to the concrete. I froze. The voice was casual. Familiar to familiar. The message ended, but the silence didn't. I stood in the kitchen watching her. She was sitting in her chair by the window, a blanket over her legs. Her eyes dull. She had no idea I'd heard the message. I hadn't deleted it, she asked. "For T and I made it." I smiled back at her, but something inside me had broken. 6 years of taking care of her, of lifting her into bed, wiping her mouth, and stroking her hair through the pain, and now I heard a man's voice saying things no one should say to someone else's wife. She once told me I was all she had, and now I wondered who he was. I didn't confront her. That would have given it all away. Instead, I started watching her phone. I noticed she was quickly deleting texts, but cloud backups don't lie. I found hundreds of messages, sweet names, hidden places, references. 2 things she never told me. I printed them all out, each word like a blade. I also checked her calendar and found doctor visits and therapy appointments she never actually attended. I tracked one location, a cheap motel off route for close enough to home to be a convenient lie. I waited outside in my car and watched her arrive in a cab. I watched a man open the door, a man who was clearly not a nurse or a therapist. He was younger, athletic, the kind of man who would never bathe someone. He'd use them. She smiled when she saw him, and then she walked, no limp, no weakness. My breath caught in my throat for a full minute. I made copies of everything. Photos, messages, timestamps, a printout of the motel receipt charged to my name. I put it all in a plain folder, with no labels, just evidence. The next morning, I brought her breakfast in bed. She looked tired and pretended to be weaker than usual. I sat beside her and gently placed the folder on her lap. "Open it," I said. Her hands shook as she flipped through the pages lie after lie. She didn't cry, she didn't scream, she just looked up at me and whispered, "It wasn't supposed to be like this." I looked at her for a long time. "You could walk," I said. She looked away. I nodded once, then walked out of the room. I didn't scream or ask why. I filed paperwork instead. Divorce, fraud, insurance investigation. I called her family and sent them copies of her disability records and the video from the motel. I told them they could keep her because I was done. I canceled her caregiver benefits, reported the false claims, and watched her lose the home care stipends she'd been taking under my name. I called him once, said nothing, and let the silence answer the phone. Then I changed the locks and left her wheelchair on the porch. She showed up 3 days later on foot. I didn't open the door. She pounded on the door for hours, screaming, sobbing, and begging. I watched her from an upstairs window, drank my tea, and let her feel what 6 years of betrayal tasted like, cold and final. Betrayal isn't a quick stab, it's a slow poison that quietly destroys your life. Until you don't recognize it anymore, she thought. I'd break, that I'd scream or beg, but I don't beg. Not anymore. I cleaned the house, burned the sheets, and deleted her name from every contact list. She wanted freedom, and she got it. But freedom with guilt is just another kind of prison. And me, I feel nothing now. And that's how I know I've won. The most exacting revenge isn't rage. It's letting the truth strip them bare while you walk away without ever raising your voice.